Hey, everybody, welcome back. Um, Today I want to talk about something I've been struggling with ever since I started this podcast. Speaking, not just talking, not chatting with friends, actually expressing myself clearly. Because if you listen to my podcast for any length of time, you've probably heard me lose my train of thought, forget what I was saying halfway through a sentence, repeat the same word 17 times, or completely butcher an idea that sounded perfect in my head. Um, Sometimes I listen back to my recordings and just cringe. Not because I don't believe what I'm saying, but because I know what I wanted to say and somehow it came out sideways. But lately I've been wondering something. What if becoming a better speaker isn't about sounding polished? What if it's about becoming comfortable enough just to be yourself? Um, when people think of public speaking, they usually think of standing on a stage in front of hundreds of people. But that's not exactly what it is. I mean, public speaking is speaking up in a meeting, it's introducing yourself to someone new, it's sharing your ideas, it's recording a podcast. I mean, it's having a difficult conversation. It's basically anytime your voice is heard by another human being. And I think a lot of us are walking around afraid of being judged, not just for what we say, but for how we say it. I mean, do I sound smart enough? Do I sound awkward? Did that make sense? Uh, did I talk too much? Did I not say enough? I mean, I know I ask those questions to myself constantly. Um, and one thing I kept finding while researching this topic was that confidence is not the starting point, it's the result. And honestly, that kind of annoyed me because I kind of wanted the shortcut. Somebody to say, okay, here's how to feel confident before you speak. But that's not how it works. It's pretty much not how any of this works. Ugh. People who seem confident today usually got there by being uncomfortable over and over again. The confidence came afterward. And then I think about my own podcast, and I could see that. My first episode was terrifying, and I do still get nervous, but just not as much. And not because I became suddenly confident, because I recorded enough episodes that my brain has evidence that I'll survive. Um, Now, why scripts can become a crutch? Don't get me wrong, I love scripts. I do use them. I'm talking off a script right now, my script, but I think there's a difference between using a script and hiding behind one. I've noticed that when I try to sound perfect, I sound less like myself. And the episodes that seem to connect the most are the ones where I go slightly off script. When I tell a real story, um, I forget the perfect wording and just speak. I'm getting better at it. Um, TED speakers often talk about storytelling and connection being more important than sounding robotic or memorized. People remember stories, they remember emotion, they remember authenticity. They don't remember perfect grammar. So, if you're someone like me who wants to become a better speaker, here's what I'm personally working on. Um, First, I'm trying to slow down. Um, when I get nervous, I rush and my brain just starts sprinting, and then my mouth tries to catch up. So, the problem is that slowing down actually sounds more confident. Um, Pausing makes people feel like you're comfortable with your own thoughts. Second, I'm trying to stop apologizing every time I speak. You know, I have you ever noticed how often we start sentences with "this is probably stupid" or "maybe I'm wrong"? I don't know. I do that constantly, and sometimes that's humility, but sometimes it's fear. Third, I'm recording anyway, even on the days I don't feel articulate, because the only way to become a better speaker is to speak. There's no other way around it. One thing that surprised me is that podcasting has become my public speaking practice. Every episode is basically a rep, like going to the gym. Nobody walks into a gym and expects to bench press 300 pounds on day one, except if you're my sister. But somehow we expect ourselves to sound like professional speakers immediately. And that's kind of ridiculous when you think about it. I've recorded episodes where I've stumbled through half of it. I've recorded episodes where I forgot my point, and I've recorded episodes where I thought, well, that was terrible. And yet every single one taught me something. Well, the most interesting thing I found during my research was that some communication experts argue that the secret isn't confidence at all. The secret is caring more about helping the listener than protecting yourself from judgment. That really hit me. Because when I'm worried about myself, I freeze up. When I'm focused on helping someone understand an idea or feel less alone, I speak more naturally. The attention shifts away from me and towards connection. Maybe that's the goal. Not perfection, connection. So, if you're someone who struggles with speaking up, if you get nervous presenting, if you hate hearing your own voice, if you overthink every conversation, you're not alone. I am right there with you. But maybe becoming a better speaker isn't about becoming someone else. Maybe it's about becoming comfortable enough to let people hear who you already are. And if that's true, then every awkward conversation, every shaky presentation, every podcast episode, and every moment where you stumble over your words might actually be part of the process. So thanks for listening. Remember, sometimes the most powerful voice in the room isn't the most polished one. It's the most genuine one. I like that. Till next time, you got this.